চলমান বিশ্বমন্দার এ সময়ে কেমন চলছে দক্ষিণ এশিয়ার দেশ ও বাংলাদেশের অর্থনীতি, জিডিপি, মূল্যস্ফীতি সহ অন্যান্য অর্থনৈতিক সূচকগুলোর অবস্থায় বা কেমন তা জানাতে বিশ্বব্যাংক ঢাকা অফিস কার্যালয়ে চলছে সংবাদ সম্মেলন। আমরা সরাসরি চলে আছি সেখানে।
The Bangladesh Bureau of Statistics have actually carried out a survey that gave us, a latest measurement of what is happening with household in Bangladesh. And this has happened, 2022. We talk about 2 years after COVID, whereas the country has done extremely well in managing the COVID pandemic, whether it is in terms of health, in terms of macroeconomic reforms. As a result, this country has actually done quite well in recovering fast from the COVID pandemic. Growth basically returned to quite a healthy level in 2021, in 2022. Or rather, because of this very strong performance, you look at what happened in 2022 when we look at this the household survey. Let me just tell you, our estimate is that between those two periods, 2016 and 2022, 11 million people were lifted out of poverty in Bangladesh. 11 million. 5.4 million people were lifted out of extreme poverty. And how do we define extreme poverty? Those are people earning or living with more than $2.15 a day. But this is real dollar. This is using the 2017 purchasing power parity. So across the years, it measures the capacity you have to purchase the same bundle of goods. And this is remarkable. I mean, in terms of, for instance, the rate of extreme poverty, it used to be 9% in 2016. It is now 5%, according to this international benchmark. But not only income poverty has actually declined. It's quite remarkable that non-income measurement of poverty has also evolved very well. What do I mean? We talk about access to some services like electricity, water, sanitation. Those have really improved for a number of households. And in fact, one of the ways we measure this is to look at how those who are in poverty now, how do they do relative to others in 2016? And there is this very, in my view, stunning statistics. Those who are in poverty today have the level of access to some of these basic services that those who were non-poor in 2016 were having. So it tells you that besides the income, access to basic services also have improved a lot for a number of people. So it is very remarkable for Bangladesh how living standards have really improved over the years because of this strong growth led by sound economic policies. And I think that is something the country should be very proud of. And the questions then will be very often what to do next. And I believe that you will see in the report and perhaps in the presentation how it is so critical to look at the nuances across this, looking at what happened, for instance, between West region and the eastern part of the country, where there was a divide, and this divide is closing. You will see that poverty has increased faster in urban areas, for instance, or at least the growth have slowed down in urban areas. So there are a number of nuances. But the bottom line is that at this stage, what Bangladesh should do, and in our view, and I will come back to that, my second point about reforms, but in my view also, it would be important for the country to just look at how to be more ambitious in terms of poverty goals. And I mentioned earlier that one of the way we measure extreme poverty, those who have $2.15 a day purchasing power parity 2017, but one may say, well, we are aspiring to be an upper middle income country by 2031 and a rich country by 2041. So why don't we get a higher goal objective when it comes to poverty? And one of such goals could be, why don't we set now the bar at $3.65 a day? So that will be, for instance, one of my, the way I would like to encourage maybe the country to take on that front and move on.